President Biden is in the UK meeting one-on-one with King Charles III.
The president arrived at Windsor Castle within the last hour to take part in a, quote, climate engagement alongside the king before setting off for the NATO summit in Lithuania.
Let's bring in royal watcher and global business consultant Hilary Fordwich. It's always good to be with you. Is part of this meeting, we know what the official agenda is, but is part of this to make up for what some are calling a couple of snubs by President Biden?
Well, Adrienne, always a pleasure to be with you and with Mackie too. Few things here. You're absolutely right. There have been a number of perceived snubs, or should we say snafus. Of course, President Biden did not attend King Charles's coronation, but then American presidents historically have not attended coronations, and Obama did not attend the King Philippe of France, Spain's coronation, nor an emperor across the world. So American presidents don't attend coronations. That's not what they do. Nevertheless, he did then, President Biden then went right after the coronation. He was seen in Ireland, and he did make some derogatory comments with regard to the British. Now, he's actually obviously claiming that our relationship remains strong, that it's one of the strongest, greatest allies. He said that when he was in the garden with Prime Minister Rishi Sunak at 10 Downing Street, where he was right before he went to Windsor Castle.
Mm-hmm. And Hilary, the royal family hasn't been shown in the best light in the press recently, particularly all the headlines surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's partnerships with Spotify, Netflix, what they called their near catastrophic New York car chase. You and I have talked about them before. Will this meeting today help reestablish some credibility to the family?
Well, yes, I would actually, when you said the royal family, I was thinking you meant members of the real royal family that are serving members of the senior royal family. You're right. Those stories are about Harry and Meghan, who chose not to be part of the royal family anymore, even though they actually still leverage their Dutch, that's of Sussex and Duke of Sussex titles, which is rather ironic. But what's really on the agenda here, yes, it's the soft power from King Charles. What he will be discussing with Rishi Sunak, obviously they discussed, and with now President Biden, is this whole climate issue. Now, as a constitutional monarch, though, he's stepping on very tender ground. Why? Because the monarch is to stay out of political issues. What one assumes will not be on the agenda is why on earth the president has to fly with over a 10-car entourage convoy, and then also fly with Marine 1 and 2 helicopters and go over there on flights that had to fly all of those American vehicles over. He arrived at Windsor Castle with 10 vehicles and 2 American Suburbans. I'm sure they won't ask why that. But what they're doing right now is they're meeting in the green room at Windsor Castle with Grant Shapps, who's the environmental minister in the UK, and then Kerry has flown over there from the US regarding environmental issues, and obviously maybe on another plane.
Yeah, something very close to Charles's heart, King Charles's heart, even before he was crowned. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.